I'm not 100% sure what they grew, but there was a bad storm one day. And so living in Virginia, you're never really far from some sort of airfield or landing area. Um, I remember hearing like a helicopter flying low over the neighborhood, and I don't remember. My brother was either there or at school. I don't remember. And I want to say that my stepmother was out to sea at the time. She was in the Navy. And my dad may or may not have been at work because it was a little later in the afternoon. He may have left for work because at the time he was working nights pretty much all the time. So anyway, this low-flying helicopter comes thundering through the neighborhood, and there was a bad storm at the time. It wasn't raining yet, or it just rained a little bit and it was about to start back up. I don't recall those specific details. But I remember going, that sounds like a helicopter, super low. And about the time I looked out the sliding glass doors into the backyard, it disappeared over the top of the trees and landed. You can see it. It's kind of outlined through the trees. It landed in the field. Well, I just walked out there, uh, went around the fence. I don't remember how I got around the fence. I might have hopped the fence. Walked through the woods. There's about 100 feet stretch of woods right there till you get to the field. And there was a guy and a crewmate inspecting the helicopter. Well, the guy walks up to me and he goes, "Hey, would you by chance mind running me to the gas station?" He goes, "Evidently this gas gauge on this thing is not accurate." Sure, no problem. I get the guy in the car, take him to the gas station. He had a gas can on board. Take him to the gas station. He fills my car up, which was kind of neat. Get him to the gas station, and his name was the same as the guy from the Bee Gees. Gibbs, whatever it was. That was his name on his shirt, and that's what he told me to call him. Well, he said, "Look, if you're looking for a job, I can get you a job at the airport in the mechanic shop." Oh, that's awesome. I'll have to keep that in mind. Well, I never followed through with that, and I often think, I don't spend a lot of time doting on it, but it's always good to think about the routes you take or have taken, or you use those for reference for the future. I sit back sometimes and I think, what would have happened if I'd actually followed through with that and gone to work at a mechanic shop at an airport? That might have been pretty cool. And the same could be said of other things. There's a shop in Norfolk, Virginia that is now it's a syndicated TV series. I won't say the name just because, but I got a chance to go work there because at the time working at the dealership, I was a parts delivery guy for a little while and made friends here and there. There was, plenty of performance-oriented shops that I delivered to. But this particular shop, they offered me a job, and I was like, man, I appreciate it, but now's not the time. And looking back, not so much because it's a syndicated TV series now, but looking back, that would have been a very lucrative thing to get into because they pretty much specialize in classic car restoration and modification, that kind of stuff. But there's that. And then, there's other instances, like I was offered a job after I fixed the guy's boat, on a boat similar to like the Deadliest Catch, but not in that area of the world. It would have been North Atlantic, I guess. But it's just strange how we process things like that, whether it's out of fear of change or fear of failure. But you can't fear change and you can't fear failure. The job that I had the longest job I ever had was for Bridgestone. And, when things go the way they did for me at this particular job, you can't help but feel like, what if I wouldn't have committed so much time to this endeavor and done something I really, really wanted to do, or something that really interested you? This kind of goes back to the previous episode, is finding your happiness. Now, I like working on just about anything, but at the same time, there are certain things that I just can't stand doing about any kind of car. Case in point, right now over here in the shop, I have a Toyota that I'm doing a cylinder head on because the guy that owns the car did the cylinder head wrong the first time around. So I'm chasing strip threads and improperly tightened items, and it's working over top of people. It just kind of agitates me sometimes. But take some chances every now and then. Don't be afraid to fail. I tell my kids this all the time. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. Yeah, we all want to win. And I've seen video clips, if your dad says sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, your dad's a loser. Inaccurate. I'm giving my children a realistic outlook on the future. You're going to win, but you're also going to lose. And the losing is way more important than winning, because you learn more from the losing than you do the winning. That's just my 2 cents. But, alright, well, it's about 9 a.m. here, and it's not but about 90 degrees, and I'm sure in the next 2 hours we'll be up over 100. So we're going to push some hot air around in the shop, and what in the world is that? Is that a murder hornet? Golly, that's a monster. He must be here to talk about the car's extended warranty. Anyway, like, subscribe, question, comment, concern. Please follow along. Like I said before, I'm doing these little videos, these little snippets, these 10-minute, sub 10-minute episodes for information purposes, stories, fun time. This one was kind of a couple of stories rolled into an affirmation that you need to challenge, change. Don't be afraid. Don't get complacent, but always move forward. Even if that means you get knocked down 5 and stand up 6. Thanks, guys.